What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige to the Page, and today we're going to be doing 7 on Sunday. Seven on Sunday is a Goodreads group created by Grace from G Swizzle, and I'll leave a link to both Grace's channel and the Goodreads group in the description box below. Another week of VEDA! Alrighty, we is getting there. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. It's been insane. So tomorrow will be a midway check-in, so I'll be able to give all my thoughts and shit there, but just wanted to say thank you for continuing. This is a new week, so if you didn't get last week's code word sentence, this is now fresh onto that, so yes. But 7 on Sunday, our topic is most satisfying book or book series endings, and I've got 7 here that I can't wait to talk about. The first is Saga by Brian K. Bourne and Fiona Staples. So technically they're on a hiatus that hasn't ended yet, but volume 9 ended in a way that just, holy shit. I think it was the most satisfying and least satisfying way to go on a hiatus. Like, I love where they stopped it. I think it was fantastic. It hurt. Everything just hurts, but I think it was brilliantly done, and I've loved the series up until then and continue to just pine for more, which I think was a very satisfying, it's a satisfying thing having to actually wait for the continuation on of the series. So whilst it hasn't technically ended, for where they ended at the moment was weirdly satisfying, and I ain't mad about it. The next is literally any Tamora Pierce ending. So I'm holding up the first Alana, the first adventurer, Song of the Lioness, book 1, but book 4 of this, book 4 of the Immortals Quartet, Protector of the Small, any of her 4th books just always end really beautifully. It concludes the quartets nicely and it doesn't leave any loose ends. You feel like the stories come to closure, but you know that there's still more that's going on in the realm, and you know you're going to see these characters elsewhere. So it's just a really satisfying feeling, and I love the way that she concludes her stories. Next up is going to be a contentious one, and that is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I know that a lot of people have adored this, and I know that a lot of people have also been let down by this. I didn't love it as much as Strange the Dreamer, I will admit that, but I think the ending and the way that it was set up was so well done and so satisfying for this duology that I'm keen. Because with the way that Laini Taylor writes, I feel like there's going to be a lot more in this world than just this duology, and I think it was satisfying to conclude the story where it did here and leave the ending how it was done. So I know a lot of people will contest me on this point, but I think it was the most satisfying way to end this duology. While we're on the train of series, I've got Hero of Ages by Brandy Sandy. Obviously, again, not everyone's going to like how Sanderson chose to end this, but I feel that it was so well executed and just shock after shock after shock after shock that it was nice to just have that end. And it's so satisfying in the way that he wrapped up the narrative while still left opportunity to continue exploring the world, which we know he does. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this concluded and just love that series overall. I know this week I have quite a few that like are my most commonly talked about, but honestly they're my most commonly talked about because the satisfying ones stick with me. The next is Assassin's Quest by Hobb. I did see someone say that this was their least favorite in the series recently. Again, we're gonna have differing opinions, but there's a scene in here that shook me to my core. I was not okay. I started bawling my eyes out and like flung my book across the room because I just know it's not okay, but it is so perfect. And it was so frustrating because it is just so satisfying. Fitz, my poor Fitz. It breaks your heart, but I know that all the things needed to happen the way that it did. So when we continue on with Fitz's story, it's going to be satisfactory. This narrative has successfully concluded itself and it was wrapped up most of what needed to be wrapped up. There's nothing left that won't be picked up later. So I feel like Hobb did us dirty, but did us so right. If you know the scene that I'm thinking of and just know that it's Fitz's heart yeah, but didn't like that, but so loved it at the same time. It's one of those so oof scenes, and I loved it. I thought it was one of the best conclusions, and I think the reason like Tamora Pierce, Sandy, Muse, this is also satisfying is because the story and the series arc is concluded. It's done well and it's done, but there's more, and they don't leave it empty and unfulfilled, but with enough strands that they can pick them up and run with them later. So that's what I love. I love that the arc itself done and dusted, but I know that there's room for more. And I suppose you could argue the same thing. A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. I thought I was gonna hate this. Like, so many people are like, they just bang in the middle of a field for nothing. And I was like, yeah, fair. I'll fully accept that. There are scenes where it's like, really? You're gonna do that now? Alright, whatever, I'm here for the ride. So yeah, but I knew it going in, so I knew to change my expectations. I could imagine people reading Akamath and then having to wait a year or however long it was till this got released and going, what the fuck? I can fully appreciate that train of logic, but for me, going in knowing that information, I was like, oh okay, I'll just alter my expectations. They're probably gonna bang on a field. When they banged on a field, I was like, okay, let's just enjoy this sex scene, shall we? I can understand that people would be frustrated, but for me, it was done so well, and I think it concluded, again, that arc. I loved Court of Frost and Starlight because you were just following the characters, and I knew that I was following the characters. I remember when it came out and everyone's like, what the fuck is this? I knew to sort of shift my perceptions, so then I was going in for just enjoying the characters. I wasn't looking for it to bridge anything. It was just extra sort of content with the characters, which I loved. I haven't read A Court of Silver Flames yet, so we'll see, but that's following on a different arc. So again, concluded this arc nicely, and I know that there are threads to continue on with other people, other characters, or even the same characters, just in a different way. I actually really found this quite a satisfying ending. Also, the like, it's so hard to speak about that without spoilers. The person that gets their comeuppance, very satisfying. And finally, one of the most satisfying endings, which I wish didn't happen. The Female of the Species by Vinnie McGinnis. This ending fucked me up. I cannot begin to articulate the mess that this book wrecked on my soul. And Mindy writes in a way that you are so invested in her characters from the get-go. Like, her character development is fucking just amazing. And for the ending to happen the way that it did, I think it chipped off a part of my cold, broken ass soul, actually missing a piece. But it was the most satisfactory and amazing ending to this book that I just wish didn't happen. I don't know, without having read this, I don't know how many people will be able to understand. So like, if you want to read this, please pick it up. It's very YA, girl meets boy, shit goes down, but fuck, there's so much more to it, and I can't even. The way that the ending goes was not anything I had anticipated for. I didn't want it to happen, but reflecting on it, it was the best ending that could have possibly happened for this book, and it infuriates me so much that that is the case, but I'm so happy that that was the way that it went. So these are just 7 books and series that I think had amazing, satisfactory endings. I think that, yeah, a few of these could be contested, but I'm sticking to it. I think that they were really great reads, and they hit home in a different way. I'm pretty sure I cried in every single one of these books except for the Tamora Pierce. Apparently that's the thing I like. Let me know in the comments what is a series that or book that you feel has the most satisfying ending. That could be the way that it concludes, it could be just the writing style, like anything and anything. Let me know what you think. The code word for today is I. As in person I. Yes? Cool. Not this eyeball. No, it's just the letter I. I have used a few I's throughout, so if I ever reference it, I'm just referring to the singular I. It's never referring to an eyeball, but like, that's fine. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, I am making videos every day in the month of August for VEDA, so feel free to subscribe and not miss a single one of those. And I'll hopefully see you in my next video, which will be tomorrow. Bye!